Dave Campbell's
Howdy, howdy. Welcome on in to the pre-show, before the free show. On a Friday. It's a Friday. It's a Friday.
Did you just realize that?
Yes.
You know how I know it's Friday? Can't have meat.
Oh, yeah. Catholics on bottom.
You know, look, it's the sacrifices we make for our Lord.
That being said, we have to do it this year. We have to go try the Arby's fish sandwich then.
Okay.
Because remember last year we kept saying that we were going to do it because your Lord and Savior Bill Oakley said it was the best fish sandwich he's ever had.
He did.
And so you and I said, okay, and I'm not Catholic, but I told you I would do it with you because I actually like fish sandwiches.
Yeah. I'll give it a go.
Okay.
I'll give it a go. Because most of them are terrible.
Yeah.
As Bill Oakley freely admits.
Mm-hmm.
He says most fast food
yes.
fish sandwiches are terrible.
Yeah, I like fish sandwiches from an actual restaurant that, is preferably by water. That's like if I'm going to go down the
I need to be able to sit
coast,
down. There needs to be a menu involved. Like an actual like menu that you can hold. Yeah.
Usually if I am eating a fish sandwich, I am sitting somewhere on the water. That would probably be the best way to go. But true. I'm down to try it.
Let's talk weather. There's big weather around here yesterday.
Oof.
There's actually big weather around a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
We had sirens at our house.
Yeah.
We had to go in the closet. I can send you a photo of everybody piled in the closet for what we call a team meeting. But we had to go in there. It was not because of a tornado, but apparently on the front edge of this storm, the winds were so high that they were like, we need to treat it like a tornado.
Yeah, because I saw a lot of debris was flying.
Oh, man. It was whipping. They were saying like 80 miles an hour wind.
Yeah,
at
that's
the front of
wild.
it.
I had some family members text me and be like, it was very sweet. They were like, hey, just checking in. Are you okay? I'm like, it is nice and sunny down here in San Antonio.
But then it wasn't nice and sunny there in San Antonio. That's what I wanted to get to, because there was big weather in San Antonio last night too. We're up here in the DFW Metroplex. Every podcast is somebody's first.
Yes.
But we're up here in the DFW Metroplex. You were down in San Antonio for girls' state basketball, and but you guys were in the Alamo Dome, so you were out of the elements.
Yes. Well, but we weren't very quickly or very shortly before it hit. And then it hit, and we were still in the elements. So to put it real fast, going back into this, is the way that basketball works is you have one session in the morning, and then there's like an hour-long break for lunch. You've got one session in the afternoon, and then there's about a 2-hour-long break for dinner, and then there's another session. So we went out to dinner, actually sat outside at a place, and it was great. It was beautiful. It was sunny. That's when people were texting me, hey, are you okay? Yeah, we're fine. We get into the Alamo Dome, and we're thinking, man, we're coasting. We're kind of checking in on the DFW weather, going, man, we hope everyone's okay. And then all of a sudden, it sounds like it starts to rain. And so I looked at Ish, and I was like, is that rain? And he goes, oh, you might be right. So we pulled up a radar, and we're like, oh, yeah, so no, the weather's coming down here, too.
I've never been in the Alamo Dome when it rains.
Yeah.
So
you can hear it. It sounded like it was on a tin roof.
Yeah,
but it was kind of during one of those things. We didn't really hear it till it got quiet in the gym for a second, and then we were like, oh, that sounds like rain. And then all of a sudden, it starts to come down, like, to the point where we couldn't, like, everyone kind of stops and is looking, and, like, I couldn't really hear Ish, and we're sitting this far apart, and I'm looking at Mallory, and we're like, oh, my God, like, how much rain is actually happening? And then all of a sudden,
so this is at this point, like, it's just like it's very
loud
loud in there because it's hammering the roof of the Alamo.
Yes, and we're going, okay, this sounds like more than rain. Like, is it hailing outside? And then someone walked past us and is like, oh my gosh, it's hailing like crazy outside. And we were like, oh, okay.
Oh, well, that would explain why it's so loud.
Why it's so loud. And then all of a sudden, it starts hailing in the Alamo Dome. Inside, so we're looking, and it looks like raindrops are starting to come down, and we're like, oh my gosh, there's a leak in the thing. And then all of a sudden, as the raindrops, as we thought that they were hitting the court, they started bouncing. And we're like, is that hail? And then that's when someone said, it's hailing outside. And we're like, it's hailing inside.
Wow.
So they had to call off the game. Great job by the UI.
Or delay it. Right?
Delay it. Yeah, delay it. So it was just kind of one of those things that everyone's looking up. There's just a bunch of hail falling in the Alamo Dome. So obviously, if that was to start to melt, the court gets slippery. Like, you got to stop for a second. The UIL did an unbelievable job of, there was just basically everybody that was courtside just kind of started like, Dr. Charles Breidup and Dr. Jamie Harrison had towels, and they were on the floor doing this.
That's great. That's good.
There was a bunch of sweepers.
I just appreciate I need a photo of that, of Dr. Breidup and Dr. Harrison, who are like the two
czars.
most powerful people at the UIL.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Who are just like, all right, gotta
the moment it happened.
First and foremost.
The moment it happened, Dr. Harrison was across the court grabbing towels, and Breidup kind of holds up his hand, and so they throw it. And so, yeah, there's just a bunch of people, and they got it back into play really, really quickly. But what had happened is apparently it wasn't a leak in the roof. It was, if you look up at the top of the Alamo Dome, there's a bunch of vents, ventilation. So one for airflow, for air purposes, blah, blah, blah.
You can't have it complete hermetically sealed.
Correct.
That would be bad for a lot of reasons.
Correct. So but there's a lot of those vents. It started hailing so quickly, so fast, the guy couldn't turn off the vents quick enough until the hail just started coming down. Because like I'm saying, we're sitting there and it's like, oh, is that rain? Oh my God, what's happening? And so the hail was getting in the vents and then shooting out of the vents everywhere in the Alamo Dome. So it's not necessarily that the Alamo Dome is like broken by any stretch of the means.
No.
But they couldn't get to it fast enough because it started hailing so quickly, so hard. Wow. So there's just hail shooting everywhere.
Okay.
Did not have that on my bingo card. It was awesome, but we were like, what in the world?
Okay. So there you go. It was big weather down there in San Antonio.
Yeah, inside the dome.
Inside of the dome. Jeez.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Girls State basketball. I'm really sad I'm not still there. It's a blast.
And you went to Casa Rio.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
So shout out Mallory and Ish.
Did you guys pay for the photo for the photographer who came around at the?
One of them we got for free. I paid for the other one because it was an amazing photo.
You guys are such marks.
We loved it. It was great. I want to be back down there. Next year I want to go for the full week. It's so fun. Girls basketball is so fun.
Well, you can watch it all on NFHS Network.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that. Hit the theme, Expo. Pickle! Hit the arrow sign. Yes, y'all! From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show on the internet. My name is Greg Tupper. I'm the managing editor at Dave Campbell's Texas Football magazine, TexasFootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live, TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all the places, or you'll listen to the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local, mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She's the Duchess of the Dorks. She's Ashley Pickle, back from San Antonio.
Hi, friends. Yeah, I flew back this morning.
You flew back this morning. It's still going on.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there's probably a game starting on now.
1:30.
That's right, because it's championship.
Yeah, they're in lunch right now. So the way that they do 2 days of semifinals, 3 classifications each day. So each session.
Thursday, Friday.
Mm-hmm.
No. Wednesday, Thursday, because they don't play on Sunday. Wednesday and Thursday.
No, just Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
There's 3 sessions.
Uh-huh.
So each session is like the first one is like 1A, and then 3A, and then 5A. Mm-hmm. Today is 2A, 4A, 6A, and then tomorrow is all the actual championship
all championship games.
Yeah. So 2 days of semifinals. So the 2, 4, and 6 are happening today.
Got it. Okay. Fantastic. NFHS Network is where you can watch girls basketball. Today is Friday, March 3rd, 2023, 265 days until Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to Alexander Graham Bell. What an amazing feat. Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone, turning 176 today. Congratulations to him for such a long and illustrious... wow. Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible breaking news. I am reading here that Alexander Graham Bell died in 1922.
We need to put our phone lights up and wave them back and forth slowly as paying our respects.
I presume he died in a bar fight at the age of 75. I can only presume that.
Okay. I'm down for that.
That's always my assumption, is that when somebody dies, they died in a bar fight.
That'd be a pretty cool way to go. I wouldn't mind that, especially at age 75. Imagine me, 75-year-old, just wailing on someone. That'd be fun.
Anyway. Do you know what else today is? Oh, I'm sorry. It's episode 1550. On today's show, folks, we're going to hear from Lovejoy head coach Chris Ross. Greg Powers sat down with him. And then it's Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday. We're answering your questions about high school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel, anything you got. Let them rip in the Facebook comments, YouTube comments, Twitch comments. Comments, Chat GPT comments.
We don't need any more comments.
Or
we need more comments, but we don't need any more comment locations. I already have to go further and yonder to look for all these comments.
Do it first through the door.
We sure do. It was Zil 0678,
yes.
Daniel Agnew, Nick Morton, and Tony Blaylock. Welcome in, fellas. Also, real fast, finally got to meet Ed McElroy in person.
Oh.
It was the first time after all these years. So, yeah, he was at the state basketball championships and came over and say hi. So it was really cool. It was great to meet him.
Excellent. Do I have that wrong? Is he a Southlake guy?
No.
We have a different guy who's a Southlake
Rob
guy.
Hadaway's a Southlake guy.
Rob Hadaway's a Southlake guy. Ed does have a... Ed's a fan of all high school sports, but he does have an allegiance, and I can't remember what it is right now. He's gonna send me an email.
He was there for the 1A game.
Maybe he's maybe he's a big Nazareth fan.
Yeah. Which
anyway,
rules?
Do you know what today is? I tweeted about this.
Yes, congratulations. We would all like to celebrate Greg Tipper on his 12th year here at Dave Campbell's.
12 years ago today, I started here at Dave Campbell's.
That's wild.
12 years, a third of my life.
Yeah, that's really wild.
I spent at this company.
That's like 12 years is basically half of my life.
Let's be real. Let's be real. This is cause for celebration. I have not gotten fired in 12 years.
That is the most impressive part. Good job, Greg.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You had one job, and your job was
I did
not get fired
in 12 years.
Oh, now, Georgetown. I think that's right. He had a blue hat with a G on it. So yep. Thanks,
that's
Dub.
right. I knew he had an allegiance. Anyway, maybe the 13th year is the charm for this company to finally rid themselves of me. We'll find out. Come along this journey with us.
One can only hope.
All right, Pickle. Greg Powers has been a man on the move. He has been around at all of these different programs talking with players, prospects, coaches. One of those guys he caught up with is the head coach of the Lovejoy Leopards, Coach Chris Ross. Here's Greg Powers talking with Chris Ross of Lovejoy here on Texas Football Today.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football. I'm out here at Lovejoy High School, joined by head coach Chris Ross. Man, thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Appreciate it.
You know, the very talented team out here, and really the last couple of years you've been heavily in contention for that state championship. Kind of give us a recap of what the 2022 season was like. It must have been tough not having Peyton Pierce out there for every game. It was a guy that, you know, like the heart and soul of defense, but I bet you're happy to have him back next year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's an incredible player and a better leader than that. And obviously you're going to miss a guy like him on the football field. But I'm proud of how our guys competed, and we're probably better off now because of the other guys that had to step in.
Right. Kind of look at 2023, you know, for the fans watching this, had an opportunity to go into the weight room today and watch the guys max out on squat and go through a little workout, and the team really seems to have a good energy to me.
No, you know, I think they really do. We had a solid year last year, I think, to our guys. I know our staff, we were disappointed in how we finished, and I think that's put a hunger back in these kids. So they're ready to come out there and go attack.
How excited are you and the coaching staff to get back out on the field 2023?
Oh, no, we can't wait. You know, we were sitting there, we're already talking about pre-spring, spring ball. I mean, once basketball season gets over and you get this close, it's like, man, you look up and you're right in the middle of spring ball. So we're excited.
I make a joke because you had so many good receivers out here last year. You had Kyle Parker and Jackson Lavender went on to LSU and SMU respectively. You got to find more footballs to be able to get those guys enough touches, but man, there's really no drop-off. You guys got a lot of talent coming back, especially at that wide receiver position. Now it's Parker Livingstone's turn to be that senior leader. What makes Parker so special, and how happy are you to have him as a part of your program?
Well, obviously, you know, you've got a guy that's 6'4", and 190, can run the way he can run. But the thing that really stands out to me about Parker, he's such a competitor. You know, the bigger the game, the harder Parker's going to play. And that competitiveness and that drive makes him and our team better.
We kind of talked a little bit about Peyton, but heart and soul of defense as an, you know, inside linebacker. I guess it's the quarterback of the defense in a lot of ways. Has some quarterback experience, believe it or not, too. How important is Peyton to that defensive unit?
Well, just to the program. You know, Peyton is an elite athlete and an elite competitor as well. Unbelievable person. People see the athletic skill that he has, but his drive to be elite is incredible. And his passion, his commitment to his teammates, he's such an unselfish person as well. He makes us immediately better with his attitude and his energy.
Two-time heavyweight wrestling state champion, you're going to have up front, you know, really probably could play anywhere up front. We've looked at him specifically as a center maybe for the college level, but how are you guys going to use Sam Reynolds within this offense, and how cool is it to have a guy like that up front?
Oh, gosh. Sam is incredible. Yeah, like you said, I mean, he's won state championship now 2 years in a row in the heavyweight wrestling, and that's his second sport.
Yeah.
You know, he considers himself a football player, and he certainly is. You know, this is going on his third year to start for us, and he's been our best lineman consistently for 3 years. He's incredible. So we're obviously very fortunate to have him back, and we'll also play him on the defensive side as well.
I'm going to ask you now, I mean, we've talked about some of the top guys. Who are some of the guys that maybe Lovejoy fans should keep an eye on as they head into next season? Who are some, I don't want to call them sleepers because they're, you know, your sleepers here have scholarship. You guess you're not technically a sleeper, but who are some of the guys that Lovejoy fans should keep an eye on next year, or some very important players of your program?
Well, one would be Ridge Barker.
Okay.
Ridge, like we said, we had all those receivers last year. We're going to have some tight ends this year, Ridge being one of them. He's 6'5", 235 right now, and he's an unbelievable athlete. He really came on towards the end of the year. Another one would be Matt Maynard. Matt Maynard's going to be a 4-year starter at running back.
Crazy.
Yes, 4. I've never had that, but he's a special athlete and a great person as well. And, Nick Perez is another kid. This will be his 4th year to be a letterman and be a major contributor. Wow. And I thought Nick was playing as well as anybody by the end of the year. So those guys stand out immediately.
Last question for me, quarterback position here. Everybody wants to know about the quarterback. You got a good one coming back.
Oh, my gosh. Alexander Franklin. He's, a great leader. He's grown a lot. The thing about him, he can just do a little bit of everything. He threw 51 touchdowns as a sophomore. The thing that stands out to me is just his toughness. He's a guy, the bigger the game, the harder he will play, and he's very, very accurate with the football.
You heard it from the man himself right there, Chris Ross over here at Lovejoy High School. Thanks for the time, Coach. Good luck as you hunt that state championship ring in 2023.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
There he is, Chris Ross, the head coach of the Lovejoy Leopards, talking with Greg Powers. If you want Greg Powers to come to your neck of the woods, tweet him at GPowerScout. Maybe he'll just show up. He really is, honestly, you know what I compare Greg Powers to?
The best.
Well, besides that, he's like the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Okay? Because it rolls up, and everyone's happy to see it, and you never know when it's going to show up.
Powers.
Thanks to Chris Ross.
I'm sorry, brother.
Thanks to Chris Ross. It's true. Tell me that's not a great comparison. Has anybody ever been sad to see the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile?
No.
Bingo.
It's fair.
We're at Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Now, a word from our friends at VCR Now.
Born and bred in Texas hits a little different, as it should. Texas loves doing business with fellow Texans. VCR Now takes its Texas roots as seriously as its many partnerships with schools and universities around the state. It's also why we're so proud to promote our brand in the pages of the Texas Bible, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and on the airwaves of Texas Football Today. Driven by producing quality broadcast video, state-of-the-art audio, and LED video scoreboards at affordable prices, VCR Now makes sure to listen to your needs in its athletic department before recommending the next best steps. Building great products is our business, and it's our focus on building meaningful, long-term partnerships with our clients that sets us apart. From our 24/7, 365-day help desk, the training lab in our hometown of Red Oak, or our sports marketing business plan that puts money back in the hands of our athletic departments we support, VCR Now is built to last. Reach out to us today at info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW. Again, that's info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW.
All right, Pickle. It's time for Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday.
The North Texas Honda dealers want to help you score on award-winning Hondas like the rugged and reliable 2023 Ridgeline. Stop by your Helpful Honda dealer today or visit ntxhondadealers.com to learn more.
If you've got questions about high school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel, all of the things, let us know in the comments, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We will get to as many as we can going up here until, I don't know, do you have to leave? Or can you just go all day?
I guess.
Probably 12:30 or so.
Yeah, my stomach is growling. I've been up for a very long time with no food.
Yesterday was Dr. Seuss's birthday. My boys are dressed up as the Cat in the Hat today.
Amazing.
At school.
It's my mom's favorite day.
I texted your mom the photo. I'm waiting for a response.
Yeah, she's in school right now, and they are quite strict down in her neck of the woods about no cell phones for teachers.
Yeah, they're not strict at my wife's school. She's just emojing. I'm kidding.
She just sends me an emoji every 5 minutes.
That to me, and I guess maybe did you have a phone when you were in high school?
Yes.
You did. See, I didn't. I did not get. I literally did not get a phone until I went to college.
Yeah. Most of the people that I knew got one, like, some of them had them in elementary school, but
That
yeah,
wild.
others got them like in junior high. I was not allowed to get one until I started 7th grade, and the reason for that is we live 35 miles from the school, and I had after-school practice, so I had to be able to tell my mom when the activity bus was coming in because it was never a set time. But I didn't have an iPhone or it was like a track phone that I could call from. That was basically it.
Now, I haven't talked with my wife about this because this is years and years away. But as far as a phone is concerned, I think that I know what I think our stance should be. Now, what I think our stance should be is completely irrelevant to what our stance will be.
Yes.
But I think if you're driving, then you get a car, get a phone rather.
Yeah,
right?
you're gonna have to fight that because
Right? So like 15, 16.
Yeah, it really depends. I do see the value, especially if your kids are in after-school activities. That's when it becomes more necessary for the calling stuff.
Let me tell you, because you're flashing me back as I'm just extremely old.
Yes, we know.
I remember very distinctly having after-school stuff, but not having a phone. And so what I would do is that I would call 1-800-COLLECT. Or one of those. There was a bunch of those numbers. They were like collect call numbers. And I would call my folks and let them know. And then like it would say your name after the tone. And I'd be like, hey, Mom, it's Greg. I'm ready to get picked up. And so then they decline the charges and they come pick me up.
Yep.
Yes, I remember doing that on a number of occasions.
That's funny.
Like it would be after like a play rehearsal or something. I'd
Yeah.
be like, all right, ready
Yeah,
to
I
go."
was one of the very last ones like of my friend group to get a phone, and then when I got it, it wasn't anything special like the rest of theirs.
My kids are definitely they definitely enamored with the phone, like my phone. Like Max wants to grab it and stuff.
Yeah. But he doesn't want to grab it and play with it. He wants to hold something.
He just wants to hold it, and he wants to he knows that if he moves his hand across the screen, things will happen.
Oh,
Do you know
gotcha.
what I mean?
Yeah,
And
light will come on.
Yeah, a light will come on. So he likes that. But yeah, as far as the phone is concerned, I just don't necessarily think. I mean, he doesn't have any friends. I mean, he does. He does. Andrew G.
Well, maybe if he would get better at walking, he would be able to have more friends.
Yeah. No. Oh no, Max. I was talking about Hank. Yeah. Yeah. Max has no friends.
Max has no friends.
Max has
I'll be Max's friend.
Max has fans, basically.
That yes, correct.
Oh, by the way, I'll get you. The schedule for the bananas came out.
I was just thinking that because I saw you tweet about it the other day, and I was like, I have not gotten the schedule.
I'll get you the schedule.
Okay.
So if you want to come out to a game,
I do want to come out to a game.
Got it. First game I think is Tuesday.
Have you ever showed Hank any videos of the actual Savannah Bananas of their dancing? You should. There's because Mallory didn't know anything about it, so I explained to her that they're the minor league team that does the dancing, like that's their thing. And so there's like a top 5 dance thing that they do on YouTube. You should show him that because it's very cute.
So by the way, apparently the league changed their name. They're now the Flower Mound Bananas.
Oh, yeah. I felt like there was some copyright issues there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so they're the bananas from our town, but but the Savannah Bananas, like the whole reason they exist is for content. Like they are, and their content team is very good.
Yes.
Very good. We've got a good content team here, but as far as, I mean, they
found their niche and they went with it.
Exactly right. All right. Do we have any questions from the people?
Yeah. Is Lovejoy Region 3 champions for 2023?
Region 3 champions? Well, that would be no. 100%.
No, because they're not in Region 3.
Positively, in fact, I'll go on a limb. They have a 0% chance of winning Region 3 because they're Region 2, I believe. I need to check this out. Yeah, they're Region 2. I like this Lovejoy team. I mean, for reasons that go beyond their, beyond just the prospects that they have. I think they need to settle on a quarterback. I think one of the things that they ran into last year was they kind of got it. They ran into a quarterback carousel, and that I think is the perfect example of if you got 2 quarterbacks, you've got no quarterbacks, right? one of those things. So, but I like this team. I like the cut of their jib. If I may use a phrase. I think they've got an opportunity to make some noise. But I think that look, South Oak Cliff ain't going away. That's 2-time defending state champ, right? But I think that they're on that short list of that next, of the contenders there with Melissa, Midlothian Heritage, Terrell. I think Terrell's in their own district. They've got a tough district.
Yeah.
Ennis, depending on what you think of Ennis, they've got some opportunities. They got an opportunity to make some noise. I think that right now, you remember last year we talked about how Lovejoy we thought was the chief challenger to
South Oak Cliff.
To South Oak Cliff. And
that's the thing.
It didn't all come together.
No, and they were younger. They have some really good young skill players. They just need to play more aggressively. Like we saw them, Ish and I saw them play North Crowley.
Mm-hmm.
And we went in fully expecting Lovejoy to win that. Now, North Crowley was a lot better than what we thought they were going to be. Shout out Ray Gates. We're still wanting to get barbecue. But they just played a little bit timid is what it seemed like to me. Like I feel like they have the skill players. They just needed to get up to the 1 age and 2 strength of playing that physical ball. And then they'll be really hard to stop if they can do that.
Because their skill position guys are pretty darn good.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
so, keep it on that.
Next
yeah, I think but I think that they're going to be on that short list. But it is to me like I don't know, like South Oak Cliff wants to hit you in the mouth, and Lovejoy's got to be ready to play that brand of football. So, but
they're also going to be severely undersized against South Oak Cliff.
Well,
most people are.
Teams, yeah, exactly. Detroit Lions are, severely undersized against South Oak Cliff. What's next, Pickle?
Let's go with. Is 1 running back or 2 running backs better for offense?
Oh, I think you've got to have 2, and especially in. Okay, let me broaden this conversation. I think humans, and especially football players, we're getting bigger, stronger, and faster. Okay, we are like high school football players today do not look like high school football players did in 1983.
Absolutely
okay?
not. Yeah,
they don't.
You can literally just put up 2 random pictures and you can see that.
Part of that is just like we're evolving as a species, right? We're just getting bigger. Another part of it is that we have technology and understanding of training and
nutrition,
and like
all
Absolutely.
Of that stuff.
All of those advances that we've made have made players bigger, stronger, and faster. I've long said, for example, that I think that and I'm talking on the defensive side. Defensively, we are going to get to a point of essentially positionless football where it's just a bunch of hybrids. It's a bunch of Micah Parsons out there, right? Who can do everything.
And just rip someone's head off.
Yeah.
That's all they're looking for.
Whoever that linebacker for I'll always remember this from that Cowboys 49ers game. There's a linebacker who ran with CeeDee Lamb. Fred Warner. Yep. It's going to be all Fred Warners, okay? It's just going to be a whole unit. It's going to be, you're going to have a couple big boys up front, and then you're going to have 8 Fred Warners.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the fundamentals, the normal body size of a corner or a safety of that long, lean type thing, they're just going to look like linebackers.
Exactly. They're all going to kind of look the same. All of that is to say, I think that the hits are getting more. They're not getting more violent, but they are getting hard. It's just a matter of mass and speed, right? It's scientifically
which is why the shelf life of a running back is decreasing exponentially.
Which makes the days of it's part of to bring it back to the Cowboys. It's kind of why it was crazy to draft Ezekiel Elliott 4th.
Yes,
even if he's the best running back in the world, drafting him 4th in 2000 and whenever they did 2016, 15, whenever it was. Is kind of crazy.
Well, and if you're going to do that...
Because the days of the bell cow running back, I think, are really numbered.
And it was crazy enough to do that. They did it. And then what was the actual really crazy part was the massive extension they gave him. That's when everyone was like, what are you doing? Because here we are in year 4, and Tony Pollard is the way more efficient running back.
Right. Okay, so I'll give you here's a perfect example of this. Okay, so I'm looking at the records. UIL 11-man rushing attempts in a season. Okay, the record, and I remember this. David Mora, who's the running back for Mason, he ran the ball 498 times in a year.
Yes.
Now played in the title games. They played 16 games, but maybe 15. But like crazy, and it was they built the whole plane at Mason out of David Mora. David Mora is legend. Love to catch up with David Mora. The next, to find somebody else in the last, let's just say 10 years. Let's just say since 2012. You had Kennedy Brooks at Mansfield who ran 431 times. One. Cash Long at Brock ran 397 times in 2019.
Yeah.
Cooper Ogle at Shalwire ran 380 times in 2015. Keon Kenner at Little Elm ran 374 times in 2012. And then this past year, you have the leader, Landon Thigpen from Godley, who ran 368 times. Okay? And he ranks like 30th on this list. Okay? The days of the bell cow, give it to him 32 times a game running back, even in a run-first offense, are just done. Go look at, like, there's one of the reasons that Liberty Hill is so successful is yes, the scheme, but also they've got like 3 capable runners at any time. And so, yeah, those 3 guys, but they're split, like they've got 3 guys and they're running the ball all the stinking time, but they're only getting like 16, 17 carries. You've got, I think, and especially, obviously, if you're at the 2A level, you kind of make do with what you've got. But if you don't have a running back that you trust to give them 10 to 12 carries a game to spell your lead back, I just think that you're in trouble. So I think that's a long answer to a short question, which is, yeah, you got to have 2.
I agree.
I think you've got to have 2.
I agree.
Preferably more, but like you've got to.
If you want to get the full use out of your running backs, you need multiple of them. You can use one and they can be really good, but you're not going to get the full explosion of them for 48 minutes.
100%. You're like, they're going to wear down simply because we are getting better at defense and it's getting harder to carry the ball that many times. Like it is really stinking cool to have a guy like Dalton Brooks. I want to go on record as recommending having a Dalton Brooks, right?
Seems good.
Right. But go look at his numbers. They're handing the ball to Trace Bishop a fair amount, right? They had a number of guys.
They threw the ball a little bit more this year.
They threw the ball a little bit more. They managed his workload. And so I think that's the way you've got to be because the hits are getting harder. And so as a result, you need to, and it's not like there's obviously one play can obviously end somebody's season, sadly, right? You hit him the wrong way, and he suffers an injury. But I'm just talking about the collective toll that it takes on someone.
Especially with someone like that who is that specifically talented. You want to talk about a kid that's been playing varsity ball like that for 4 straight years. If he had 400 carries in those 4 years, I mean, think about that's 1,200 hits right there before the age of 18. Like that gets, that's ridiculous too. Colleges might take a whoa at that.
So here's the thing. So the career rushing attempts leader, do you know who it is? It's Jonathan Gray.
Yes,
Jonathan
I should have
Gray,
known that.
1,225 career attempts.
Yeah.
Now part of it is he played 4 years and he was like the best. So that's part of it.
He's on the cover for a reason.
But also, I remember when he was getting recruited by Texas, one of the concerns was a lot of tread off those tires.
Yeah. And he's only 18.
He had already had, I want to say he'd had a shoulder surgery before he stepped foot on campus at Texas.
Yeah.
And it's like that just does. Like, for example, we've had one guy who just finished up this career who had more than 1,000 carries in his career. It was Owen Allen at South Lake Carroll. He had 1,060 carries. That ranked 7th all time in UIL 11 man.
Which is actually crazy considering the amount of like receiver talent that they've.
Oh, for sure. But
that's a different note. But
like, he is at this point. Owen Allen is a pretty extreme outlier. You know what I mean? He is the first 1,000 carry back that we've had Yeah, since Eno Benjamin, 2013, 2016 at Wiley East. That's the way of the world now, and I think it's a good thing because we want to maintain these guys' careers, but I think you've got to have a second back. I know that's a long answer, but that's.
But there's the answer.
The answer is you've got to have.
That was a good question. That one got you.
Got me fired up on Friday, March 3rd.
All right, we'll do two more.
Mm-hmm.
We'll save the topic that you brought up for last. Oh, unless we want to do that a different day.
Up to you.
We'll figure it out.
Let's see how good
Let's see how far you go with this one. I'm not going to be good here. I wish Ish was here for this. But what if WWE superstars were Texas high schools? Who would be which high school?
I'm going to table that for Ish.
Okay.
Ish is going to have a better
Ish
knowledge.
likes AEW better.
Ish is going to have a better knowledge base.
You know what we need to do? We need to switch that to AEW. No offense to WWE, but we need to switch that to AEW and have Powers and Ish go off on
Powers
this.
Powers and Ish.
They are crazy people.
I'm an extreme casual.
Uh-huh.
I'm a very casual.
I
always feel very cool whenever I've watched it, and I can come to Ish and be like, I watched it. Do you want to talk about it? I'm an extreme casual, so I would not do this segment justice. That's an excellent question. I'm not refusing to answer it. I am tabling it for another time.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Maybe I'll tell Mallory that we need to get Powers and Ish and do a TikTok on it for our Dave Campbell's page. That would be cool. I think
We're still doing TikTok, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Follow us on TikTok. What's our TikTok name?
At Dave Campbell's.
Follow us on TikTok, I guess. I don't know. I've never done the TikTok. What's next?
How long would you survive the zombie apocalypse?
That's a good question. Do I know it's coming? I mean, I guess that's kind of the point of the apocalypse is you don't know it's coming. But do I have how long do I have to prepare? Am I getting a 1 week warning? Or am I getting a 3-day warning?
I mean, I would think that.
I think
the zombie apocalypse would happen a lot like COVID did. You know, it was you kind of start hearing a little bit of rumblings, and then all of a sudden it's boom.
Okay, so let's compare it to COVID.
Yeah.
That would essentially give me
3-ish days before the world starts to shut down.
Let's call it 72 hours.
Yeah.
72 hours.
Because if you want to say that, because it hit that Wednesday night, but the world shut down on Thursday. So say you knew about it on Monday, Wednesday night, you're like, oh, crap, it's coming. And then Thursday, world's down. Because I felt like COVID was basically the zombie apocalypse.
See, because one of the things that I'm a little worried about is that we live in a pretty dense populated area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
zombies know that they can come here and feast.
Yeah, you got to get out of the cities.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. You've got to get out. You got to get into the rural areas. So that's one of the things that I would try to do is get out away from people because people are potential vectors.
Mm-hmm. Also, people that live in rural areas, and I can say this because I grew up in said rural area, they have a lot more different places to hide out there, a lot of sheds, a lot of there's land, there's deer blinds, and then they also probably own a lot more stuff like a chainsaw, something that I got to go cut down the trees on the pasture. A lot of city people don't have a chainsaw. My dad probably has 4 chainsaws.
I've got a T-ball bat. Can I borrow one of your dad's chainsaws?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't speak for that.
But yeah. Okay.
What would actually be great is the tree hedge cutters. Because that's an extended pole.
I do have those.
Yeah, the extended chainsaw thing, that would be good because then you could I
have a T-ball bat.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
I would say I think I'd do okay. Because I think that I would... Well, here's the other issue. The other issue is I have 2 wiener kids. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, you would put yourself at risk before the wiener kids, even though they would end up probably going down 2 seconds after you did.
And they're going to slow me down. Golly. No, I'm toast. I'm toast, and it's because of Hank and Max. That's the biggest reason. If you have kids and you love your kids, then you're toast. Yeah. Because you're gonna, they slow you down. Mm-hmm. That's a lot more stuff you need.
Yes.
A lot more stuff you need.
Yeah.
because like
it's one thing
Mac's
to keep
allergic
your
to eggs. You know what I mean? It's like, oh geez, that really comes into play then.
And if you're allergic to eggs, zombies, you stand no chance.
Exactly right. They're gonna find out about that. I'm gonna say
it's F around, find out.
I'm gonna.
Max is at the point.
I'm toast. No, I'm toast because of that. Because like my kids would slow me down. I would be too concerned about them, and then like ultimately it would get to like the key moment, and I'd be like, yeah.
See, and that's where it's like, do I think that I have a better chance to like physically fight a zombie than you do? Absolutely not. I also don't have any sort of yard utensils or anything like that, so I'm kind of out in there. But where my advantage is compared to you is, one, I don't have anybody else to take care of. I'm obviously younger and more athletic, which is huge. And then two,
Did you work out this morning?
I was up at 5 a.m. to catch a flight.
Not my question.
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
I worked out yesterday morning at 5:30. But
so
then the other thing is I'm small, so I can hide. I'm not like I'm tall, but I'm small. Small.
Yeah, I mean this in a nice way. I feel like the zombies would come after me before they would come after you, because the ROI of eating me is much higher than eating you.
Like the zombies would need to be like wanting to chew on some bones if they want to eat me. I don't have a lot to offer them from nutrition standpoint.
I'm thick with 2 C's, and so like I think they're gonna
many people are saying.
I think they're gonna see that and be like, that's a tomahawk steak over there. And they're gonna look at you and they're gonna be like,
you look at that New York strip.
It's a Salisbury steak, and it's like, I'm not passing up Salisbury steak, but if I got the tomahawk, that's what I want. It's
there for the taking.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm toast. Sadly, the more I think about it. I'd love to tell you that like I'd be super organized and stuff like that, but it wouldn't matter.
No,
kids would.
I don't think, and I'm not saying. I think I could last like a week. I'd probably get
like,
hungry.
We'd be being quiet, and then Max would like play one of his books that like sings. To you, and I'm like, dang it! That's all it takes.
Take me.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Thanks again to Chris Ross of Lovejoy for being our guest. For Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. We got a show Monday, right?
Yeah, yes.
Vince Young, please meet your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you Monday, as I just learned, on Texas Football Today.